Now we review 2023's House Party. Everybody coming to the party, have a real good time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is Random Street Theater. Dana is suffering from some separation anxiety, and she needs to be on my shoulder right now. Her previous owners were not as good to her, so I'm afraid she has to be in this review. So, yeah, I just saw the remake of House Party. Before I get into that, let me just remind you all that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase a bracelet from 4Ocean. 4Ocean then pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. So, comment, like, and subscribe. Better world for you and me. Anyway, so House Party is the story of two party promoters who were working with three other party promoters who appear to have been gang members. And, the gang members kicked them out of the party because one of them stole a chain from some chick. So now that they're not making money on the party they're doing that night, they decide to do a lit party at LeBron James's house because they also work for / used to work for the company that cleans his house. Alright, so there you have it. The original House Party apparently was a much more private story, and this one is a much larger story. The original had much more recognizable star power to me, but then, I didn't see the original House Party, and maybe it's my loss. So, first up here, let's be clear on the subject that your enjoyment of this movie will depend heavily on your tolerance for racial slurs. I know these are racial slurs being uttered by the people whose race they belong to, but look, I used to work at a homeless shelter. I would tell people, hey man, you cut that out. You want to say something? Say brother. Say ninja. Say friend. I don't care. Just don't use racial slurs, because I think it's offensive to everyone that such vulgar terminology is being used. Now, LeBron James in the story does not know this is happening at his house. Although I am going to also point out that having looked up LeBron James, because I do not follow basketball, boy started out poor, never knew his old man, and now he's here. So I actually think that he would probably be a pretty cool guy when it came to something like this. I don't know. But, yeah, the story looks like it's going one way, and it does surprise you and goes another. And it's like somebody said, hey, that's just trite writing. You can't have it happen like that way. So that winds up being a storyline that doesn't look very good. Anyway, the biggest problem with this movie, past the racial slurs, is it's just not fun. I mean, it's not funny seeing them tear up LeBron's house. That's what's going to happen. It's like, okay, they called all of LeBron's friends, so you're sitting there thinking, like, he's going to show up and, like, his friend's going to be like, awesome party, dude! And he's going to be like, okay, I'm going to pretend I did this on purpose. Like, no, that's not how things go. Okay, so yeah, but again, it is still not funny seeing them tear up his house. It's not. There's a lot of cliches, drug references, and really negative portrayal of African Americans as law-breaking. Do you feel better, sweetheart? Law-breaking, criminals who don't want to put in a hard day's work. And that's just not, look, I've met African Americans, I've met black people who are hard-working as hell, and I've met ones who weren't so hard-working as hell. They're just people like everybody else. But in this movie, they're rather, homogeneously depicted, and that's just not cool. you do have the one guy who's a total screw-up and the other guy who's less of a screw-up. But they're both screw-ups. They've got screw-up friends doing screw-up things. All right? Even the parents of the guy who's more responsible make the statement that they got a lot of their belongings through looting. And I mean, maybe that's a common thing in certain parts of California, but I don't believe it is. And, you know, look, I really think this movie just didn't portray black people in a very good light. All right? It wasn't fun. It wasn't funny. And it was very slow. It's almost like the whole thing was on Quaaludes, you know? I mean, it's like, hey guys, I know you're supposed to be smoking weed, but this movie is on weed. And not the cheap stuff. It's on the better, that's like the really good weed, but, you know, the weed that makes you go, yeah, that kind of weed. I know nothing about weed. Anyway, I'm assuming there are different grades of weed. The really good stuff, I'm told, will just make you black out, and the not so good stuff will mellow you out. This movie is really mellow, all right? So yeah, again, if you're hoping for that kind of a good time, my understanding is you should probably watch the original movie, okay? This movie is kind of a fans of the genre only. If this is your thing, more power to you, but I mean, you just don't have the Kid and Play. You don't have the charisma the two of them bring to their work, you know? And that's one of those things. You don't have that same energy. You don't have that same strength. And I mean, it's like, yeah, okay, this rich guy's getting his stuff beat to heck, but you know, from what I understand, LeBron's a good dude. I mean, he's got a charity. He helps people. You know? Okay, yeah, he's really rich. And here in California, the streets are lined with poor people, many of them, of the darker skin variety, who could really use his help right now. But I ain't expected him to save the world. So yeah, you know? Fans of the genre only. It's not doing well. All right? Also, the music was just like, what? Didn't feel like party music. It wasn't at the right volume. It was very subdued. I mean, I guess it had to be because you had to hear people talking, but it's like, look, it should be bumping inside, then you go out to the bushes to talk, and then, you know, that's what happens. Okay, but you had, like, the subplot of the thugs kind of could have been just cut out, and you wouldn't have lost much. And then, you know, well, the Illuminati sequence, I don't want to give anything away, but the Illuminati sequence, best part of the movie. I mean, that was funny, but that was it. Anyway, so yeah, look, if you have a streaming service that picks this up, which it certainly, almost certainly will, that's the time to watch this. Doesn't need to be in theaters. Not that great of a movie. Fans of the genre only. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. Dana, what the hell are you doing? Greetings, folks. Fred the Facehugger here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And why should you do that? Because for every 1,000 subscribers, Random Street Theater here will pull a pound of trash out of the ocean. That's through the company 4Ocean. And why? Why do we pull trash out of the ocean? Because your world is dying. Care about your world, comment, like, and subscribe. It's not that hard.